Hey,
Hello. Excited
how?
utterance here, and
Yes,
that is DALI Talk.
of course.
There. I can never work out which
So
side he's on.
I know it's
I don't
always
know.
backwards.
Is he my
Uh,
side or your side? Or
yeah. Either way.
if you're joining us from another stream, welcome. Hello, this way up. Hello, Pixie. Uh, no, who
About
else
it
is
right
here? But
now.
we are dual streaming today, so
Yes.
you can hang out in either of our chats. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Um, but if you're supporting one or both of us, we just appreciate it. And today we are going to be on day 5, I think. Is it day 5
Yep. Day five.
of Mr. Pursehouse's trial?
Yeah.
But who knows? It feels like day 20
Yeah.
because of the giant break in between.
Yeah. It really was off for like more than a week.
It was.
Really annoying,
Yeah.
but so yeah, we're
Hello,
back.
Paige.
Go ahead and
Paige. Pixie. Let's get going, shall we?
yeah,
Why
definitely.
not?
Um. Well, let's just give them a second to
Oh no,
come
yeah, we
in,
might actually.
or
We
I don't know.
we might let people come in for a little bit
Yeah.
because
Dave hasn't ended, I don't think yet.
we had dual streaming. Get your sword out.
Ooh.
Mm.
Um.
Did you see? I made a video about the turkey baster.
Oh, really?
I did about
Oh boy,
how to make the turkey baster semi-transparent.
that's great.
It's called Turkey Baster Fun.
I'll have to check that out.
I'll put a link in chat to the turkey baster. It premiered last night my time, which was early your morning.
Okay,
Yeah, turkey baster
that's
fun.
awesome.
Yep, I know, right? I thought, why not? Because Shelley had requested
Yeah,
that I make the turkey baster transparent, so why not? As it's all um, in honor of David Jensen and
yes.
Julie and Mark's turkey baster antics. So
Nah, Paige, I don't really think so. The judge was his usual pompous ass.
okay, look,
Um,
I'm behind on that. I was asleep. So what was that about exactly? Do you
Basically,
know?
the judge is retiring in January, and he's demanding that the trial go through at some point this year.
Hey, Debbie.
Guys.
So
Okay. So sorry, the judge is retiring. I
yeah,
know that.
and he set a trial date for the end of November over the
For
defense
what?
objections for the financial crimes.
Oh, it's just about the financial crimes.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So he wanted there to be a trial date in
Basically, he wants to
November.
be the one to take down Murdaugh.
Oh, for
Ugh,
God's sake.
I
Yeah.
know, right?
So absurd.
That's a bit pompous.
Yeah, very.
I saw what you put in Discord
Oh,
with
yeah.
Bland being there
Yeah, he
and
was
having a
there.
good old shitty chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, to Harpootlian. Not Harpootlian, sorry,
No,
Crichton
Waters.
Waters.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he wouldn't talk to Harpootlian. And that's interesting, isn't it? And he's got a fourth juror now,
Oh, what? Oh, yeah, I
Bland.
saw him. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's just
Yeah.
going to have he's just going to have all 12 of them in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing sus there.
Nothing sus. We used to have, hey Pixie, do you remember in Australia we used to have this comedy duo and their whole their catchphrase was nothing sus. So yeah, they just like find sus things and go nothing sus. I should find them.
Yeah.
They were hilarious.
Uh,
Yeah.
let's see. Okay. Yeah, they're just talking right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, today was kind of boring again.
Like, don't play it up or anything, Sal. Like,
Well, no, hopefully the afternoon will be a lot better.
look, we make it fun.
I know. We will.
We do.
We'll find a
We
way.
always do. Like you said that yesterday, and then the silver fox came on,
That's true.
and
That
he
was
was great fun. The one with a long neck.
Oh, yeah. Zebra or giraffe, whatever it was.
Giraffe. Jamie, how's your day been? Tell us about your day.
Oh, we're doing another trial, so I just been doing that. This trial we're doing is
stupid,
kind of crazy.
Yeah, what's it about?
Yeah. Well, it's the 4th time that this woman is being tried for her wife's murder.
Oh.
The first 2 times, the hung jury. The 3rd time, it was a conviction, but it was overturned at the Supreme Court because of expert testimony about paint drying that shouldn't have been let in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Oh, the paint drying. Yes.
Yeah.
But like, there's just a lot more to it than once the defense had their opening statement, they've added some key players. There is the couple, and then the victim had a sugar daddy who had like 3 credit cards in her name for her that he was paying bills on, and also a cell phone for her. And he was married, so his wife didn't know about any of this. And then also he had a girlfriend that was also in the picture. And then there was, so
but there was nothing going on. They just like mouth or.
Yes, there's this joke now because he was only given corner mouth kisses from her.
Yes.
And they literally, that's the specific term that they're using.
Yeah.
And then she wanted to get a puppy, so they went on a trip together, and she wanted him to pay like $250 for this dog, and she told him if he did, I believe it was the dog or an iPad, something.
No, it was the stand in line for an iPad.
Stand in line for iPad.
And this was 2010, so that was pretty,
a full-on smooch.
Wow.
Full smooch, not corner mouth kissing.
No, full smooch.
Full smooch, like with all of the pieces.
He was gonna move some finances around to do it.
Hey, Shelly.
Hey, distant.
Hey, greedy bloke.
But we're just coming to find out that a lot of these witnesses right now know nothing.
Yeah.
About nothing.
So looks like we got some people. Welcome
Wesley,
from Dave's chat.
My link is pinned to the top of chat, isn't it?
I think so.
It should be. Sal.
It is on mine. I don't know about your Cash App.
Mine is.
Should be in your bio.
No. Wesley's saying put EU link in your description and your Cash App. Just a suggestion. When you dual stream and to have donations available for the what?
Yeah, we'll look at it later. Because Dave just redirected.
Oh, hello, Dave.
So, yeah, we're doing the Pursehouse. Okay. So, yeah, we're doing the Pursehouse trial, the afternoon session. It's kind of a weird trial. Not sure if all of you are familiar with it or not. Basically, this guy, unalived, Drew Carey's ex-fiance. They used to date, and he got jealous, and after 8 years later, he unalived her. Allegedly. It has not been proven.
Are you sure?
So, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and start here.
You got to raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly state that the testimony you're about to give and the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do swear. Thank you. Please have a seat.
Hello.
Hey, Jackpot Springs. Nice to see you. Oh, Peanut.
Please state and spell both your first and last names.
Alan Wu, ALANWU.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Please tell the jury what it is that you do for a living.
I am a professor of laboratory medicine at the University of California, San Francisco. And I
A
am
brush
one of
would
the
have been
laboratory
good.
directors at the Zuckerberg
Did you
San
stand
Francisco
near the
General
brush,
Hospital.
or was the brush in the next room?
And can you briefly describe your education for this position?
I have bachelor's
Sir, have you
degrees
ever owned a
in,
hairbrush in your life?
chemistry and
Cola.
biology,
Yeah.
a doctoral degree, PhD
You're lucky
degree
to have
from
hair at your
University
age,
of
sir.
Illinois in analytical chemistry.
I know. You
and
should at least take
postdoctoral
care of it.
training in clinical
Yeah.
chemistry.
Maybe he's afraid if he
Briefly
comes in,
describe
it
your
will fall
training
out.
experience in
Maybe.
chemistry.
Don't touch
Well, I'm
it.
trained to
Stay
operate
away.
clinical laboratories in hospitals and medical centers.
And how many years have you been doing that?
41.
And are you the chief clinical chemistry toxicology laboratories of San Francisco General Hospital?
Now called the Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital, yes.
Oh, Lord. Ooh, she's a cutie.
And do you hold any licenses or certifications?
I'm licensed by the American Board of Clinical Chemistry in both clinical chemistry and toxicological chemistry, and by the state of California for clinical chemistry.
Since when?
My American Board licensure dates to 1982 and 1983, and my California license dates to 2005, the year after I arrived in California.
Why would you arrive to
And do
California?
you hold any positions
Mads.
in any advisory committees?
I am a member of the Medical Advisory Committee for the Northern California Poison Control Center.
What does that entail, being a member of that committee?
It is an advisory committee for the Poison Center itself, who receives calls and cases from families, from doctors, from nurses about patients and subjects who have been exposed to poisons and toxicological substances.
And is your laboratory accredited?
Yes,
Accredited so far as what?
it is accredited by the Health and Human Services.
Yes, it did, David.
Centers
Thank you very
for
much.
Medicare and Medicaid as a high complexity clinical laboratory.
What does that mean? High complexity clinical laboratory.
Hello, Dave.
What is the highest level of certification
Thank you,
that
Dave. It was so nice of
HHS
you.
grants? It allows us to do testing that is above and beyond automated procedures.
93 for me.
And back in May of
Thank you.
2002,
Yes, please sub in like
did LAPD detectives contact you to conduct analysis on what they
Give me a
believed
thing
was
all like
nicotine?
Yes.
huggy and warm
Did they ask
fuzzy
you
this morning.
whether you can determine the
Thank you for
quantity
being in
of
my
nicotine,
chat.
the
Thank
purity
you for
of
just being
nicotine
with
in
both
that
of
vial?
us.
Yes.
All of us, all three of us.
And did you indicate
Me
that you
too.
could do that?
Yes.
And how would you be able to do that?
We use instrumentation that allows us to quantitate levels of drugs, poisons, and toxins and chemicals
Oh my.
found in various fluids.
And what type of instruments do you
Was
use
there not
to do
any
that?
smog in the 90s?
In our
Distant
particular
sleep it was.
situation, we use high resolution time of flight, liquid chromatography, mass spectrometry.
And is that a generally accepted method of using that instrument to conduct that type of analysis?
You need to clarify what type of analysis are you referring to?
For the purity of the nicotine?
We use this instrument for medical purposes. We test blood, urine, other types of biological fluids. We have also used
other
it to
types of
determine
biological
purity,
fluids.
but that is not what we normally do.
Mm.
Ooh.
But you're able to do it.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
And prior to your analysis,
Sir,
did
can you blink,
receive,
please? Blink wants to let us
from
know
the
you're alive.
prosecution,
There. Okay, thank you.
This one.
reports from a Dr. Maureen
Okay.
Bradley?
Come on.
See, Dr. G was saying that
These
the
are
less
reports
the
related
blinking,
to her analysis
the
Oh.
more likely he's a
back
psychopath.
in August of 25th, 2020. Is that correct?
Yes,
We really
I believe
need
that
him
Dr.
on the
Bradley,
panel.
Now he's like
was
blinking
or
on
is
command,
a,
like a rhythmic,
an analyst at the FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia.
like a metronome.
And you read her,
Think it's
her
Ready?
analysis
1,
of the
2,
liquid?
3, and blink. 1, 2, 3,
You can
and
answer
blink.
that.
Yes, I did.
Including that she determined that the liquid was nicotine.
That is correct.
He's testifying as an expert in this category, in this
I
field.
think we invited Dr. G on a panel and he actually said
And you
yes.
took that into consideration for your analysis too.
Yes,
Earthquakes.
I read her reports and we followed some
forget
of
what
the
that thing-
procedures that she used in generating her report 2 years earlier.
And sometime around May 2nd, 2002, did you
Yeah, right.
receive an item 66, 2 vials?
Yes,
Did you take a picture of the envelope of item number 66?
Darn it! I knew
Yes.
there's something I forgot.
Here, a one-page photograph.
Wait, did this guy play Sulu in Star Trek?
60.
He's from San
What did it say?
Francisco.
Um,
Oh my!
Oh my God.
Do you see that
He gets the package in from the cops.
photograph?
Oh my!
yes, I do.
Did you take that photograph?
Yes,
And the number 66 for the item
I
number?
was going to say something that
It's not
could have come
well
off
written.
really racist.
Captain,
Not
permission to
racist.
dock.
could be construed as an 8, but I believe with other documents that is number 66.
And it's
Yeah, Mads.
a package with an Amie Harwick and a GI number 2006.
Right.
You
did it.
Correct.
Now, when you received these 2 vials, you didn't know where these vials came from.
Well, I knew they came from ultimately the laboratory at Quantico that had been sent to the LAPD evidence.
Was he in Karate
desk.
Kid?
Don't know the official name. So it ultimately came from the LAPD, but I
No,
think the origin
know
was
Hey, it's
the
teacher.
sensei.
Quantico laboratory.
Who the
Yes,
teacher
and that's based on your review of Dr.
Mike's on,
Bradley's
Mike's off.
notes.
Correct.
And so
Mike's
you
on,
received
Mike's
these 2 vials for item 66 and you tested them.
Hey,
Yes.
How did you test them?
Hey, see,
Using the
Daisy Girl
aforementioned
Williams. Nice to see you.
how's it going?
And what did you determine as far
Mr.
as
Your
Your
item
doppelganger
66?
hasn't been back,
There was
unfortunately.
no compounds
We will
of
be waiting
interest
for
found
her.
in it. It appeared to be just
Mr. Miyagi.
perhaps liquid water. There was nothing in it.
And did you contact LAPD to let them know that?
I did.
And did they
It's
send you
as bad
something
as
else?
me.
Well, we had a
They
conversation.
were very dishonorable.
And I believe one of the people I spoke to was an officer, Masterson.
Detective Masterson?
Yes.
Hey, Wolfram, I haven't said hello
And
to you yet.
he went through the
Hello.
records and concluded that the LAPD evidence office had sent the wrong vial.
Did they then send you the
Daisy
vials
girl.
for item 21?
Wait, they sent you the wrong vial?
And did you take photographs of that package?
What? Really?
Look, you want to have another series of photographs, A through D.
That's so professional.
Concluded that the LA
Okay.
and
They're
he
probably all
went through
too
the
busy
records
going for
and concluded
auditions.
that the LAPD evidence office had sent the wrong vial.
Did they then send you the vials for item
My
21?
bad.
They did.
I
Did you
can't
take
wait for
photographs
that.
of
Spray
that
tan.
package?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
You want to
yeah.
have another series of photographs, A through
What's a good thing, the LAPD has a really good reputation of being honest, no issues with racial relations and handling evidence.
Nothing
know.
like that.
Good thing,
D.
You'd think they would have learned after OJ, but no.
That's number 61.
Yeah, what's a little
Yeah,
DNA here and
61.
there?
No, they were all too busy taking
Hey.
selfies.
You recognize what's shown there?
It's a photograph that I took.
And this is
In their
for-
defense, they thought they saw Brad Pitt walking down the street, so they wanted to get an autograph.
That's
Okay, so I
it.
mean, cut them some slack here. Okay,
Cut them some slack. I know.
wanted a selfie.
package with an item
I'm
21.
taking a selfie with that.
That's correct. It's listed in 2 places.
turned out it was the guy who plays Brad Pitt in a porno,
That'll do.
but it was pretty cool.
Close
The one
enough.
to the left also says item, and then it says 35 crossed out, and some date and initial, the best I can see. And then written to the right of that is again item number 21.
Now, did you receive this package sometime around
No.
July
Soon
11th,
I
2002?
received the package.
Yes, that would be roughly 2 months after
Did you
I
receive the
received
package yet?
item number
Yes.
66 through the
All the
same
package.
All the
LAPD.
packages with all the
And you
documents.
see this number here, the sticker on People's 61A, where it's a sticker that has the labeling packaging A1 2020-00954
Jeez,
number
that
1.
chicken scratch. No wonder
I
they
see
sent
that.
the wrong thing.
Okay, is that a lab report number for the FBI that was used by Dr. Bradley in analyzing a liquid from a syringe that was provided to him?
Oh, analyzing the
spit.
And
liquid.
so I compared her notes, handwritten notes, as well as the
Yeah.
written
it's just
That
report
would be great. They tag in
on
Barry
her
Scheck.
analysis
Who's
of
Barry
this
Scheck?
material,
Who's,
and those numbers.
who's Barry Scheck?
He was the one who cross-examined Dennis Funn in the OJ trial for like 8
Oh.
days straight
Yeah. Okay.
and just
now I know who you mean.
humiliated him so bad.
Yeah. Now I know. who you
appear
mean.
to agree.
Looking at page
Hey, Luna,
B of
dear.
this exhibit, you take photographs of the contents of that envelope that we just showed the jury.
Yes.
And he does what is shown here.
Well,
Ooh,
there's
only
2
2
things
days
in this
to go.
particular photograph. One is an outer envelope, or
I have a
rather
mini.
outer sleeve, which when I received the evidence, contained the syringe inside the sleeve. I
great, it
opened it,
leaked.
documented that I had done this, pulled it out so that I could show what the syringe looked like, and then took a picture of both the syringe and the
What are you
outer covering.
talking about, Wolfram?
And looking
No,
at the
he's too
photograph,
white for her.
See
Yeah, these
Is this
people
a
are all way
close-up?
too white.
of that syringe?
It is the same syringe and outer
Not even
casing
their spray
with
tans are
the
going to help them.
syringe inside.
And was there also a vial in that package?
There was,
And did you take a photograph of that?
I did.
And that is that here on people's
Oh,
photograph?
2 more
Look at a
days,
vial
really?
too with him.
Yes, it is.
Turning this around, zooming in on the labeling on the vial on photograph D.
Ah, see,
on.
that's so cute.
Does that
No.
have the FBI lab number 2020-00954 and then item 1 on the vial?
So I can ascertain the photo is a little bit illegible with the second
I
digit.
can't
of
say
the-
I understand that
00.
comment, Leslie.
That is in fact the second digit. It is 2020-00954. And then the first word underneath is the word item. The letter I is a little bit obscured because of the angle that the photograph was taken. But I can assure you, or I can ascertain that this in fact was labeled item 1.
And this is the
Scouts on her.
item 1 as labeled in Dr. Bradley's notes for what she generated.
Correct.
So what exactly did you test at this point at your laboratory?
The contents of that file.
And how did you do that?
We took out a small amount of the contents of that vial for your syringe. We put it onto a balance, a weighing device. We determined how much we withdrew, approximately 100 microliters. Weighed it.
That's
And
exhibit
then,
100, she swept.
From that point on, performed the analysis.
Let me see. I have exhibit 100
And can
here.
you just briefly explain to the jury, what is that analysis? What does that
No.
analysis entail?
Well, the first thing that we have to do is to dilute the sample because our instruments are highly sensitive. We can see specks full of drugs that can't be seen by the visible eye. If you're going to take 100 microliters of what we thought was a reasonably pure material, this would have overloaded our instrument by 1,000,000-fold. So we had to dilute the liquid content that we obtained from that vial in 2 serial dilutions to the extent that it was diluted 1,000,000-fold, 10 to the 6th.
And what was the result of that?
I'm sorry, what was the result of the dilution?
What was the result of your analysis?
The whole reason you're here.
Well, that was just the
Right.
preparatory
I
analysis.
spent 15 minutes to get to
We
this.
then
What
had
is it?
to do the instrumentation analysis, which consisted of first ensuring that the instrument was correctly calibrated with known standards, making sure that the instrument was clean, that there was the necessary quality controls that we put in there to demonstrate that the instrument was operational. We determined that there was no carryover from any existing samples. So the first step prior to touching anything from this evidence was to calibrate the instrument.
Okay.
And was that done?
Yes.
And you said you used a standard. What do you mean by that?
A standard is a material that we purchase that is certified by the manufacturer of that material to be what it says it to be, as well as the content and purity of the standard itself. So these are things that are documented prior to us using them.
Okay. What standard did you use in this case?
Nicotine.
At what purity level?
The purity level indicated by the manufacturer was greater than 99.9%.
And did you, as an expert, did you believe that to be reliable? That the standard was 99% pure nicotine?
We don't verify the purity. That's beyond the scope of our work, but we've never had an issue with a substandard material.
And then, did you continue your analysis?
Once the instrument was calibrated, I might mention that this is a step that the FBI lab does not do, which was the reason that we were engaged in this work. They do not do quantitative analysis. And so we were asked to provide a quantitative analysis of the content in item number 1. It was required that we calibrate the instrument. Once the instrument was calibrated to our satisfaction, we injected the sample.
And then what happened?
And then
Once the result has been completed, which takes about an hour, all told, including the calibration, we look at the instrument printouts and we evaluate the contents for 2 things. Number 1, what is it? And what degree of confidence do we have that it is what we think it is, i.e. nicotine? So before doing any type of calculation, we wanted to be sure that we were dealing with, in fact, the chemical in question, because it had not been the chemical in question, such as what we saw for item number 66, there was no point going any further.
And what did the printouts show you on this occasion?
We were able to demonstrate that this material was, in fact, nicotine to above the acceptance criteria that we have in the laboratory for this compound.
Okay. And did you retain records of these printouts?
Yes.
Okay. And were those included with your report?
No.
They were not. And what else did the analysis show you as far as purity?
Well, so after we've ascertained that, in fact, the material that we were looking at was, in fact, nicotine, we determined the purity of that material by comparing it, by first determining the concentration of the material that we injected into our instrument, compared it to our calibration curve, came up with a concentration, back calculated to the amount of material that we took originally from the balance, and did a calculation.
And what was the result of that calculation?
It rounded up to 87% pure.
Pure nicotine.
Yes.
okay. Cool.
Is nicotine at that purity level, is that a poison?
Based on your training experience, are you able to answer that question?
Yes.
Okay, you may.
And the answer is yes. That high of a concentration is beyond what you would ever expect to see in a cigarette or in a smokeless tobacco or any other nicotine product. This is highly poisonous, in my opinion.
And did you document your findings in a report?
Yes.
And did you date that report August 8th, 2022?
Yes.
Did you include pictures of the instrument used?
Don't believe so.
Did you include graphs for the calibration curve of the
Yes.
nicotine standard?
Yes.
Now, is your laboratory accredited to run purity exams? analysis?
No.
Why not?
As I testified earlier, the purpose of my laboratory is to provide qualitative, which means unknown analysis, as well as quantitative, in other words, how much of drugs, chemicals, and substances in biological fluids. We don't generally do purity analysis, but we have done so in other cases for various medical reasons.
Does the fact that you don't have well, first of all, is there more stringent accreditation to do the analysis that you do on organic and tissue?
Objection, foundation, speculation.
Again, are you able to answer that based on your training experience,
Yes,
even though that your lab is not accredited?
yes.
With respect to period, okay, you may.
I am familiar with the standards necessary to get accreditation for forensic purposes. I have been part of other laboratories that have had forensic certification. The standards for medical certification, in my opinion, are higher. That we do more things to verify the accuracy of the tests that we provide than does a forensic laboratory. And the difference being that in a forensic environment, that you're dealing with legal issues by definition. Forensic means legal proceedings. In a clinical environment, the results of our testing are used to make medical decisions. Medical decisions that can affect a person's life, that can affect their survival. And if we get the information wrong by providing the incorrect medical decisions, people could be unduly harmed.
So the fact that you don't have an accreditation to conduct this type of
That was interesting.
forensic analysis,
Yeah.
Does that affect the accuracy of your results in any way?
That reminded me of an acid trip from like my teenage years.
You okay?
I'm
Acid
fine.
teenage years, Jesus.
We use the exact same procedures as accredited forensic
Thanks, Nick.
laboratories, whether they be in the
Well-
medical examiner's office
I don't think I'm going to
or a
No,
FBI
fine. That's not going
laboratory.
away.
Methodologies are the same.
Well,
principles
turns
are the
out
same.
my lovely
We just
canine
only sought
puppy
certification.
dog,
for
who
clinical
looks like
testing.
a giant grown dog, came in during the night and
What is
pulled
your
out
fee
the
to work on a
charger
case
on my
like this?
computer.
An hourly
And
rate?
Well,
So
there
my
is a
computer's been sitting
fee
here
for
all night, just
conducting the analysis,
completely
which is
battery
separate from what
draining.
I'm doing now.
And
My
yeah,
expert
so
testimony and opinions on this
here I
case,
am trying
I
to
charge
stream
$400 an
with
hour.
zero battery,
About how many
basically.
hours have you been
Nice.
involved?
Thank you,
in this
Sybil.
case?
10.
Sybil. That's why she's called Sybil.
And that's dating back to
So I can call.
May of
I can do the
2002.
whole faulty towers.
2022.
Sybil.
Yes.
Just for clarity, that
Hey,
you
Nick.
charge $400 for testimony.
Testimony, preparing reports, reviewing records, reviewing
Okay.
depositions, telephone
Thanks
calls,
for being here,
anything
Nick.
related to this
It's
case.
appreciated.
Same
I know
rate.
you've been busy
Same rate as
staying
your
for hours and
testimony.
hours.
Correct.
Okay.
I don't
all right.
differentiate.
Understood.
And were you also provided with Dr. Bradley's preliminary hearing testimony?
Yes,
And did you also review that?
several times.
May I have one moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
Well, yeah, Wesley. She also chewed right through my Ethernet cable last week. Had to go buy a new one. She doesn't want me streaming, it seems.
Apparently.
Let's have something against that. Hey, migraine game.
In her preliminary hearing testimony for Dr. Maureen Bradley, did you note that she gave an opinion that she believed that based on her using a 99% standard, that the liquid that she tested was approximately 90 to 100%? That she said that you can infer from that it has a purity of, say, approximately 90 to 100%.
I did read that.
And what is your opinion of of that opinion.
I mean, this witness testified to 87% purity versus what is it, Dr. Bradley?
Dr. Maureen Bradley.
Bradley's figures were, so I'll allow him to explain.
You can,
So any analytical measurement has error limits. Nothing is absolute. There are a range of values that this number could be. And I estimate it to be a few percent, 3 to 5%. Excuse me.
so your results could be, the purity of the liquid you tested could be off by 3 to 5%.
Correct. And if you add it to that 87%, it does concur with Dr. Bradley's conclusion.
I have nothing further on.
Cross-examination. Yes.
God. Fried cat.
Good afternoon, Dr. Wu. You were asked in this case to test the sample for the purity of nicotine, right?
Yes.
And
Do you have water there? Okay, good. All right.
I'll give you a second.
Thank you for
I
asking.
don't know why people think water is going to help with a cough.
I have some.
It really doesn't.
I don't have COVID.
Okay.
And I know I'm a doctor.
Oh, you know.
All right, yes.
Thank you.
How
You
amusing.
were not asked to test the sample to identify all compounds in the sample.
Correct.
Oh, twist he does when he
Your
gets home.
analysis revealed nicotine
I have
as the major
phosphorus, yeah.
compound.
Yes.
I will,
And
Wesley.
there were
I'll
other
share her in
compounds
Discord.
present that were not the major compound.
No.
There was not cotinine.
No. It may have been present, but it was present perhaps in a trace amount. It's not a major component, no.
No, my question was there were other compounds present that were not the major component.
There may have been, but we were not asked to look for them.
Right. That's all I'm asking.
Sorry.
So no, I'm sure my question was probably poorly phrased.
Is that Becky?
Now,
Hmm?
gas chromatography mass spectrometry is a generally
Look like Becky.
probably
Go back there.
poorly phrased.
Sorry.
So no,
Red.
I'm sure my
Yeah, kind
my
of.
question was probably
Is that Becky?
poorly
Oh my
phrased.
God. Watch out, everybody.
Yeah.
Now, gas chromatography
Gareth,
mass spectrometry is a
watch out.
generally
You're in
accepted
trouble.
method for identifying substances,
There's going to be a
Yes.
book about this.
and it's an incredibly reliable method if done well.
Right back.
Yes.
Yes, they are talking about nicotine, my grand game. Pure nicotine.
Did you ever
And
speak
I
about
really do
your-
need to do some
about
research
the
on this
facts of
before I
your
keep
work,
blabbing.
with either of the prosecuting
but-
attorneys, Ms. Mariano or Mr. Avila?
From just
Over
what
the
I
phone,
know
or
from
was it all via
a
email?
friend of mine
Over the
who
phone with
has some,
Mr.
or has-
here.
procured some.
Okay. Do you recall when that was?
It's used as
This
a
morning, a few days
relaxant.
ago, a few weeks ago,
In its
multiple
pure
occasions.
form.
Okay. Do you recall if any of those conversations were recorded?
I don't
She
believe they
has
were
chronic
recorded,
pain,
In
but
your report,
it can
you
also be
indicated
used
that the total
illicitly,
volume
like as a
um,
high.
of solution that you extracted was determined
can
by
be
a
very
micropipette.
dangerous. In high amounts.
And that's the instrument. A micropipette is the instrument you use to pull the liquid from the vial, right?
Yes.
It's also the instrument that allows you to measure it, right?
Well, in this case, it was used to just extract it because we ended up putting it onto a vial.
Look,
that
MLS,
was
doesn't every
pre-weighed,
case
like
need that?
empty, and weighed it. So we actually didn't use the volume taken. We used the weight.
You were CC'd on emails between Dr. Benowitz and Mr. Avila, right?
Only initially, when Dr. Benowitz recommended me in my lab to participate in this case or invited me to consider participating, those were the only emails that I had with him.
You were aware of the role that your analysis would play in this case, though.
Vegas to the role his analysis
Yeah,
plays.
it's a stain. Let's clean that up if you would count.
You were aware that Dr. Benowitz would rely on your work on the
Look,
purity.
these
for
are all
him to
migraine
form-
gang. Don't think MLS minds.
I didn't know the circumstances of the case, didn't know who the defendant was or who the victim was. All I know was
And
that this
also
was a
MLS,
case
you have
of
a link.
nicotine analysis,
Come on in.
and the circumstances surrounding the case were never made known to me.
You were aware that Dr. Benowitz was attached to the case in some way.
Yes, I did know that. He was the one who referred the DA to me.
And that he would review your work in preparing for his own testimony.
I don't know if he ever reviewed my work. I've never had a discussion with him, and I see him every 2 weeks.
Doing your horses.
Included in your
Go milk a
compensation, does that include travel?
This is the only travel, and I have yet to invoice for the travel, so it does not.
Yeah.
Will that be part of it?
Yes.
You testified
Feels like
that,
just yesterday, David.
in your opinion, one of the reasons that the medical accreditation is more stringent than forensic is because that there are people's lives at stake in the medical clinical setting. Right?
Yes, I said that.
Isn't it true that there are also people's lives at stake in the legal setting?
Section argumentative as phrase.
Yes,
Yeah, I think you
migraine
used the
gang.
language
That's what
that
I've
people could be
seen. I've
unduly harmed
noted
in the
and
medical
I've heard
context.
that it is very hard to get pure nicotine.
And
Very hard.
my question is, if there are
Very interesting that he had
errors
it
made in the legal
if
setting
it
too,
was pure.
people could be unduly harmed.
Section argumentative and foundation.
Well, I mean, I'll sustain it in terms of foundation. I mean, you know that your results or analysis could impact, say, a legal proceeding like this.
Of course.
Okay, yeah.
And I think you answered this in kind of a big picture way, but I just want to ask very specifically that your lab does not have the ISO IEC 17025 accreditation.
That's correct.
Really?
Who's going
One
to
of
you?
one of the two numbers that you need to know to
Houston?
determine purity
Really?
is density, right?
Yes.
And in
I'm
terms
sure
of the
people do.
equation that
When?
you use, that you
Who's
include in
going
the
to
report,
Houston?
density is the bottom
Who's
denominator.
going to be there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Concentration is on
What
top.
litigators are going to be in Houston?
Yes.
Yeah.
Houston.
So to be confident that
What
your
are the-
calculation
Wasn't that last
regarding
month?
purity is,
That's what I thought
Someone's
too.
you
late.
need to have an accurate density.
Yes.
And even a slight inaccuracy can change the purity number significantly.
Well, it would have to be an egregious error in the density,
Egregious.
which would be difficult because most fluids have a density of about 1.00.
Fluid.
Nicotine is in a fluid. It has a slightly higher density, but not more than 1% difference. So even if we had used the wrong density, the estimate would only be off
Shame now.
5% or so.
The balance you use to measure density,
Okay.
it can only go out, and I'm talking about the instrument, it can only go out 2 decimal places.
Are you going to
right?
Houston, but you're
Yes.
late? Yeah, fair enough.
There
who's
are
the daddy?
density meter instruments that go out 3, right?
And even 4, yes.
And you have those types of instruments in your lab.
We do.
In your lap?
Your report didn't include a measure of uncertainty,
Correct.
and it also didn't include method validation parameters.
Correct.
The calibration curve wasn't run in triplicate.
That's correct.
And I think that on direct you mentioned your own error rate, but I don't think that was included in the report. Was it?
It was not.
Is that a synonym of error bar?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And so neither were included in your report.
That's correct.
The report didn't include sample prep information.
I think we did include it. We even showed a picture of the sample actually being weighed on the balance itself.
And
You wish, David.
Nothing further.
Anything?
No questions.
Thank you, Doctor. You may step down.
People call Detective Wetzel to the stand.
All right.
Look, I think everyone is either a retired porn star or like in some way related to the porn industry. Like,
All right, Detective. If you could put.
I think everyone has like some background in porn
Probably.
in this area.
You could raise your right hand, face my clerk here.
You solemnly state that the testimony you're about to give and the cause now pending before this court should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing
The
but
ones who say that they work in Hollywood. Like, I have a big house and a big pool. And I used to work
Brian
in porn.
Wetzel, Brian, last name Whettesel.
May I have one more?
Yeah.
Heavy migraine game. Really? Wanna.
All right. Please tell the jury what it is that you do for a
You
living.
like that, C-Sway?
I'm sorry. Where
Please tell the jury what it is that you do for a living.
I'm a police detective supervisor for the Los Angeles Police Department. I'm currently assigned to Gang and Narcotics Division, and I'm a supervisor for the LAPD FBI Fugitive Task Force.
And how many years have
He
you been a police
reminds me
officer?
of somebody.
30 years.
And how many years have you been a detective?
Approximately 14, 16 years.
And how many
Drawing
years
your
have you
attention
worked
to
in
the
porn?
date of February 15, 2020. What was your assignment back on that date?
I
Yes,
was a
just
detective supervisor for the Gang and Narcotics Division, LAPD FBI Fugitive Task Force.
And as part of that task force, were you assigned to arrest a Gareth Pursehouse on February 15, 2020, sometime after 4 p.m.?
Do you have a large house with a big pool? And
February
did you work in
15th
porn?
on 2020, but it was, yes, we started the operation at approximately 14:30 hours, which is be at 2:30 p.m.
And how many members were part of this task force?
That day, I had approximately, I believe, 8 other detectives out there with me.
And what information did you receive in an attempt to arrest Mr. Gareth Pursehouse?
As
Yeah,
far
he's like a
as,
Like
well-groomed Dr.
photographs,
Spiegel.
how would you recognize him? What kind of vehicle he drove?
yes, we conducted a briefing prior to doing the operation, at which time Mr. Pursehouse was identified, and we had a photo of him.
Ooh,
It
a
was
nude photo?
California ID photo, and then physical descriptors as long as description of his vehicle.
And his DMV photo, did it include a description of his height and weight?
Yes,
Do you remember what that height and weight was?
I believe it's approximately 6 feet 4 inches, about 230 pounds.
How many?
Damn, dude,
You
you've
were
let
looking,
yourself
and you also had a
go.
picture of Mr. Pursehouse.
Yeah,
that's
he
correct.
has. Yeah.
And did you know what kind of vehicle he drove at that time?
You shouldn't have
Yes.
killed Drew
What
Carey's
kind of vehicle were you
fiance.
told he drove at that time?
It was a 2017 Lexus 4-door red. I believe the license was 8 Adam George Sam 266.
How the hell do you remember
And
that?
I have a photograph an exhibit with 3 photographs showing a red vehicle. May this be marked people's next in order. 62 photographs.
Oh,
A,
you're really putting him down there, my
and
grand
C.
gang. I would think at least the average.
Photograph A of people 62. You recognize that vehicle?
Ooh,
Yes.
nice.
Who's the guy in the back
That's the
smiling,
same
taking a
vehicle that-
picture?
Mr. Pursehouse was.
You see?
Go back.
Where?
Oh, turn off the overlay.
Oh, I can turn off that. Yeah, hang on just a minute.
You got
Right.
That guy.
Oh, yeah.
It's like taking pictures, smiling.
I'm surprised you're not taking a selfie. That would be the next shot. Him taking a selfie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy,
That'd
they
be for
got a
his
lot of cars.
portfolio.
Look at all these cars there.
Yeah.
Boy.
And then there'll be a naked photo.
Oh,
with
I
the
hope
car.
so.
You hope so.
That's the same vehicle that Mr. Pursehouse was arrested in that day when he was driving the vehicle away.
And where did you and your task force arrest Mr. Gareth Pursehouse?
We conducted a surveillance at his residence, a record of the address on his
I don't
California
he
ID.
looks like someone. I'm
with
just
the
trying to think. who.
8148
All right.
Cabrera.
Cabrera Drive
Yes,
in the city of Playa del Rey.
yes.
I have a map, Your Honor, here showing the address of 8148 of Bora Drive. May this be marked as people 63?
Yes.
Looking at people 63, until the jury was shown there.
He could play a
That's an
detective
aerial
in a
photo,
movie. Strangely
Yeah, I
enough.
was thinking like
Depicting
kind of like
8148
Law and Order SVU.
Cabrera Drive.
I know,
main
right?
guy.
He's perfect
Is that
for
the
it.
address you have for
He's playing
defendant
it.
Gareth Pursehouse?
Just
Yes,
And I have a photograph showing the
Perfectly,
close-up of a
he's-
garage and
he's got all the
Bora Street, May this be marked people's
expressions.
next in order number
He's
64 A and
dapper.
Yes.
He's not
B. Looking at
wavering from
64A.
the character at
Do you think
all.
when he's in jail
Shown there?
and like the watching
that's the
CBS in the
garage
morning and
associated with that
Price is
address,
Right comes
and
on,
it's
he
the
goes into
garage
a rage?
facing, leading out onto the Bora Street.
Sal.
Gary.
Details what is shown there.
Well, if you look
Him.
at, that's the intersection of Cabora and Sinaloa Drive.
Yeah, I'll play the staircase showdown with you, bitch.
People 63.
Yeah.
Just the TV. Picks it up and throws it out the
Damn it.
window.
Yes.
Other inmates, this is why we can't have anything nice.
Address.
Yeah.
We
Yo.
started conducting surveillance approximately 14:30 hours,
So 2:30 p.m.
2:30 p.m. Yeah.
So when you say you started conducting surveillance, what does that mean?
He walks into the rec room.
Well, we
and they're
set up
doing the Yoda,
an
Yoda,
attempt to
Yoda
locate
song.
to locate the suspect. We believe that was the address of record for him, so we set up on location the event that he would exit, at which time we would conduct take him into custody.
So did you have vehicles at different locations on different streets near his address?
Yes.
And at some point, did you notice a vehicle exiting that garage depicted on people 64A?
Yeah, so during the surveillance, it was put out that the suspect had exited and moved a bike in front of the garage door, and that then he entered the vehicle and was exiting the garage and then started to pull away westbound on Cabora.
Did anybody notice whether there was any other passenger with him at the time that he entered the vehicle?
Yes, I saw another passenger with him.
Can you describe this other person?
It was a female white wearing a white sweatshirt.
Did you later make contact with this white female?
Racist.
Yes.
And looking here
I'll be
at
right back in just a minute.
the
Okay.
photograph with the name of Judice Angelina, this be marked people's next in order, number
Yeah, 65.
65. You see that there, that DMV photo?
Yes.
Is that the person you later identified as the passenger in Mr. Pursehouse's car on the date of his arrest?
Yes.
And so you mentioned that defendant Pursehouse got into his vehicle, is that correct?
Yes.
And did the woman also get into the vehicle?
Yes. When I saw her, she was in the vehicle.
just to go back to 62A, looking at photograph B, is this a picture of the back of the vehicle with the license plate number of 8AGS266?
Yes,
Looking at photograph C, is that the picture of the left side of the vehicle?
correct, the driver's side.
Back to 63. So what happened after they were seen entering that red vehicle?
So the vehicle pulled away out of the garage and began driving westbound Cabora Drive, at which I ordered that we were going to initiate a stop of the vehicle.
And it was a vehicle approaching Sinaloa Road?
Yes.
And so what, can you explain to the jury what happened at that point?
So as they were driving westbound towards Sinaloa on Cabora, as they approached the intersection, I had vehicles pre-staged, at which time we initiated a traffic stop right at the intersection of Cabora and Sinaloa.
Okay, and during this traffic stops, were guns drawn?
Yes,
And why is that?
because it was a felony stop of a murder suspect.
And so at that point, you don't know if the person's armed or what the situation is.
Yeah, that's correct.
And was he taken out of his vehicle without incident?
Yes.
Okay. Was there any struggle with him at all?
No.
Okay. Did anybody touch him in any way? Anybody hit him or do anything like that to him?
No, he was cooperative and was taken into custody without incident.
So nobody caused any bruises or abrasions on him?
No.
And I'm going to play a video clip at this time. It's only, I think, 1 or 2 minutes, and ask if you recognize this as a clip showing a part of that interaction with Mr. Pursehouse at the time of his arrest.
Is that an exhibit or is it included in
It's
something else?
an exhibit, Your Honor. May this be marked people's next in order. There's no
66.
66. There's no sound, so there's not going to be a transfer.
All right, that's a DVD, I take it?
I'm sorry,
It's a DVD?
just a DVD.
All right.
Bye, Greedy.
Want to play it now, Your Honor?
Yes, of course.
You recognize this video?
Yes. I recognize the location and the vehicles. I believe it was probably a video taken from one of the responding patrol officers.
Are these, at this time, are these members of the unit? The
Yes.
task force? Okay,
Yes.
Let me stop it right there. If we just go back a few seconds. You see a female over to the right of this video at, with the timestamp has it as,
Before that.
this is at 32, I'm starting at 32 seconds. I'm gonna have to go back a little bit.
Oh my God, Guy, come on.
Right there. Okay. Now I stopped it at 32 seconds. Do you see what appears to be a female on the right side?
Yes.
And who is that?
That would be Angelique.
Angelique Judice?
Yes.
In this video clip, you don't see the defendant.
He's in the video. He's in there.
Okay. I'm sorry?
Yes, the defendant's in that video.
And can we just back up?
I didn't see him. Like, what a dork.
and I stopped it at 22 seconds. Is that the defendant who appears to be in the front of a vehicle?
Yes, he's standing in front of the silver Chevy Colorado truck.
Okay, and see the clothing he's wearing?
Yes.
I'm going to show you another photograph. This of an individual. My district marked people's next in order.
67.
67. Looking at people 67. Is that a photograph of defendant Pursehouse, the clothing he was wearing at the time of his arrest?
Yes, it is.
And after his arrest, was he taken somewhere?
Yes.
Objection foundation.
Do you know for a fact that he was transported somewhere?
Yes, he was transported back to the police station.
Okay. No rule.
And looking back at People's Exhibit number 62, the vehicle, the red Lexus, did you determine whether that vehicle was registered to the defendant?
Objection foundation. Speculation.
Well, Joe, the parent side, I have to hear from him.
You can answer that.
Yes.
How did you do that?
By running the plate number.
Objection hearsay.
No rule.
And did you do that?
Yes.
And was a copy of the registration documented?
Yes, a copy of the DMV printout.
And did that vehicle with license plate number 8AGS266 come back to a registered owner of Pursehouse Garrett at 8148 Cabora Drive, City of Plano, Del Rey?
Objection foundation hearsay.
No rule.
You can answer.
Yes, it did.
Nothing further.
Good afternoon, Detective Wetzel.
Good afternoon.
I did forget. I did forget something. May I?
Go ahead.
Now, not asking you to answer questions you may not know about, but at some point were you informed that the defendant had been released?
Yes.
And were you asked to rearrest him?
Yes.
And was he rearrested on February 19th, 2020?
Yes.
And were you part of that arrest?
Yes, I was.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
All right. That's all.
Good afternoon, Detective.
Good afternoon.
Following Mr. Pursehouse's February 15th, 2020 arrest, he posted bail.
Yes, I was advised that he posted bail.
And then he was rearrested on the 19th, right?
Yes, February 19th.
You were part of that second arrest, right?
Yes, correct.
Was it the same task force?
Yes.
Now, it's a LAPD, FBI. I want to get the name right. What's the name of the task force?
Fugitive Task Force?
Okay. It's comprised of LAPD detectives like yourself, right?
Yes.
And also an FBI employee or two.
Yeah, FBI agents.
And how many FBI agents were part of the February 15th arrest?
On that day, only one FBI agent was with us.
And how many on the 19th?
I believe only one.
Neither the FBI agents nor LAPD detectives wear any sort of body-worn video when effectuating either of these two arrests in this case.
That is correct.
In terms of the arrest on the 15th, there were multiple unmarked SUVs that were positioned in advance of the arrest, right?
Yes.
Do you recall how many?
I believe it was 8 of us out there that day.
Each with each with his or
Each-
her
In a
own
makeup band.
vehicle?
Yes, each detective and FBI agent was assigned with their own vehicle. So it's one man per vehicle.
Shelly,
Man or
And-
woman per.
we've only got like 15 minutes after this. I don't know if you wanted to do something else after.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Okay. So we'll go probably another hour.
Oh, right. You were talking to Shelley and me.
Both of you, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So does that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's finish this off because, well, I've got a funny video. I don't know if you do.
Okay.
Paige had a question too.
Paige? Who's
She
he?
Publishing
No, I don't believe so. No, he left.
63.
He's scarpered.
Approximately, do you recall where
We're talking about the defendant.
vehicles were positioned?
Yeah, she's talking about the
Yeah.
immediately
Um,
before the arrest?
It's really like they cut out lunch and breaks and a bunch of other stuff. So Mo ends up getting through a lot of it in the morning. So we're kind of adjusting, and we have some other videos planned.
It's amazing
believe I
how much
had-
piss farting around must be
If
done.
you need a pointer, sorry.
Yeah.
Because,
Pointer,
like,
that should be on
seriously, we end up with 2 hours, 2 and a bit hours of testimony once all of that garbage
hours
is filtered
today.
out. Is it 3 hours?
Wow,
Wow, 3 hours. Out of how long of a day?
8 hours.
Yeah. So, yeah, they must. I mean, I suppose there must be some lawyers' arguments
I'm sorry.
that we don't
Maybe
see.
they're cut out, or
Maybe they're cut out, yeah.
the sidebars are cut out.
Yeah.
Pointing at Tuscany, where it hit right in the lower right hand part of the image, where the back of 8148 would arrive on Tuscany. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Okay. Continue, please.
I believe I had on the upper right-hand corner, it really doesn't depict it in this photo, but I had at least two units to the east in the event he would drive out and drive to the east.
Okay, so let the record reflect that Officer Detective Wetzel was pointing to the very upper right-hand corner where Cabora.
Shelley, I was asleep because it was my night time. I believe Sal saw it. Jamie, did you see it? The Myrtle hearing?
And
No, I was
the detective is
sorry.
pointing to the intersection of
Yeah,
Sinaloa and Cabora.
We were talking about it earlier. Apparently it was just Judge Newman
Sinaloa
wanting to set a date for the financial crimes
turns into like a cul-de-sac.
before his retirement in December.
And an officer, the detective is pointing towards where Cabora goes off the image on the right-hand side. So when you ordered for the arrest to occur, did all of the
David is finished.
did all
He's
did the
off to
single
look
agent and
after
all
some
the detectives
horses,
respond to the intersection of Cabora and Sinaloa?
I believe. Jamie, that's correct, right? He's
Not
off to
initially,
look after some
eventually,
horses and
yes,
he's finished
not
for
initially.
now.
In the
I
moment
don't
of
think
the
Jamie. I think he's just on
arrest,
verdict watch. or
how
whatever.
many of
Right?
these unmarked SUVs appear?
What more?
You're talking about the initial.
Yeah.
Right. Once you give the order
I don't-
for the,
well, he
for the
said
arrest
that
to occur,
To
how many
me,
of,
that
how many
he
of the
was
SUVs
going to
then
continue
came
streaming
in,
the
to effectuate the arrest?
even if
So the one that
there
on
was going to
Tuscany
be
stayed,
the verdict.
there
I don't
other
know.
two on the east, covering the east, they would have stayed. So the only people
I think
during the
he'll try and show
at
the rest
the
of it
moment of
anyway,
arrest
whether there's a
or the
verdict or
takedown
not. I don't know.
would be
Yeah, I don't know.
approximately 5 vehicles.
And
Because he had it labeled
they
as
approached in a way so that
Did he? Yeah, that's fair
to-
enough. But I know he's off to look after some horses right now.
Yeah. And then the Murdaugh, yeah, I saw part of it. The judge was his normal pompous self, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah,
prevent
it is
any,
quite pompous, in my opinion. Like, it's pompous because he wants to be, it seems to me, he wants to be the one to, yeah, like you said, take Murdoch down.
Take Murdaugh down.
And he is retiring in what, January?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So who cares? Like, let someone else do it.
Yeah. So they're rushing to trial. Like, they literally said that they would be borderline ineffective at representing Murdaugh if they go to trial this year because
Well,
they have
that's not
several other
fair.
cases. No.
Yeah. He like
Like, what's the
everybody
rush?
else, he
What is
deserves
the rush?
a fair trial. He has admitted, yeah, sure, he's admitted to the crimes, but doesn't mean that you can't like work through
Yeah.
what the evidence is and make sure that everything is ticked off and that it is done properly.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you just throw away all of the due process. You
Yeah.
have to go through due process like every other charge
And
for
you're
every
risking an
other
appeal.
citizen. Absolutely. Just because you want to have your face up there, Judge Newman.
Yeah.
No, it's not. That's not right. That's not how it works.
I do
That just
not
makes
like
me
that
mad.
at all.
Ability for the
And you know what? We're in such a small minority.
Yeah.
Like, this is what it makes me so grumpy. Like, everyone is just so, oh, Judge Newman is a saint. Judge Newman should be the one to try him. Like, he knows the case. He knows the defendant. He
No, he
knows.
hates him. So I don't think you should be anywhere near him, to be honest.
Exactly. It's a conflict then.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with what's going on right now. He should not
Yes.
be near him until this is all resolved.
He's a witness.
Yeah.
The whole thing stinks.
Yeah.
Just
the
stinks.
car to drive down Sinaloa or Cabora, right?
Yes, I believe one traveled north to south on Gabor, Sinaloa, right at Gabor, and the other one traveled south to north. I think the remaining traveled south to north,
And let the
right
record-
at the intersection.
Thank you.
Right,
Let the record
Wesley.
reflect that Detective Wetzel was
So
pointing
it is.
at the intersection of Cabora and Sinaloa. You had somebody with a long gun on a building, right?
At which point?
Prior to and throughout the arrest until it was clear.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
I'm not sure what you're saying.
You had a detective with a long gun pointing at a building for security sake.
That's
But-
probably good.
What are I know I haven't been watching it all along with you guys every day,
Yeah.
but these lawyers seem to suck to me. Like
Whose lawyers?
his lawyer, especially.
Yeah.
I don't like that guy. I think he's just terrible at questioning. He drives me crazy.
Yeah. It's like the French military of lawyers.
French no.
So just kind of
Judge
to cut to
just
the chase.
driving all over him.
The detectives.
Are we
and
still
the
talking about
FBI
Judge
agent were
Newman, who
on,
swept
right?
patron saint of douche canoes?
Yep.
Not heavily armed. I mean, we're armed with the equipment that we have.
Like, I just think he's just like a hooker on the street, but he's like free. It's just like,
big
I'm open to
shotgun.
everybody. My
uh,
windows are open, my doors are open, my legs are
rifle.
open. Just like,
Pretty
Isn't
much.
hello.
that true?
Any of the true
Oh.
crime?
Yeah, so one of the long guns was a shotgun.
Well,
If I have a few
wee-wee.
screenshots that I'd like to mark as defense next in order.
Good, double R.
Double R, right?
Excuse me, not double R,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, man's at least try.
So this is R1, R2. It's up to 6, Your Honor.
Ah, Murph with the goods. Well, there you go.
Publishing R1.
No, we'll put that in our calendar, hey?
what kind of equipment the individual on the left
November
has
27th.
on. This is a
For a
screenshot
complete
from
whitewash
the
of a trial.
aftermath of the arrest, right? Immediately after the arrest.
Yes. Yeah. Just so you're clear that, yeah, that officer, that detective was not present during the arrest. He was one of the detectives that was staged on the east side.
Okay, and he has like a big right.
Sustained. Based on the court's sidebar that just occurred, must sustain the objection. And if all your photographs are going to that, I'm going to sustain the court's own objection under 352.
Okay, Mr. Pursehouse was standing there and saw these individuals, right?
That's cause for speculation, counsel. You don't know if you saw them.
Were you present when Mr. Pursehouse was after Mr. Pursehouse was being arrested? Sorry, after Mr. Pursehouse was arrested.
I know who
and
this
the other
attorney
detectives
looks like.
arrived
Who?
to
Remember the
scene of
one
arrest? Were you
from the
personally present?
Gwyneth Paltrow case?
Yes.
Oh,
Mr.
yeah.
Pursehouse was there.
Remember him?
Yeah.
And he
He was
got
there at
like
the
really
scene, yes.
famous
At some
afterwards
point, he was
because like
standing, as you
Emily
saw
D.
in the video,
Baker
facing
made a big deal about him.
I believe when
What's his
he
name?
standing at the front of the truck, he was
I don't
facing
remember.
Chat. What was his name?
westbound. And where this officer is
Remember the one
standing,
that
that
she said
would
was
be
really
directly,
handsome?
that's actually in front of the garage, which
I
would be
don't
east of
think
that
he's handsome. He's
location.
very white.
Wait, so you're saying that because he's
Clark
in that
Kent.
video,
They called him
because he's
Clark
facing
Kent.
west, you can't see what's around him?
Objection.
No, I never said that.
That's sustained.
All I'm trying to
So-
establish is what he saw.
Well, we don't know what he saw, counsel. Like now, if he was in the area of that and he appeared to be looking, that's one thing. But at the same time, even with that, it's not relevant.
All right, publishing RR3. So this is Mr. Pursehouse, right?
Yes, correct.
And then is that a detective or an FBI agent?
FBI agent.
All right, so this
Hey,
FBI
Ed.
agent has on.
Again, counsel, this is the third
Gwyneth's
attempt
lawyer.
we talked at
Was he?
sidebar.
Yes,
You're
he was
presenting
Gwyneth's
what was
lawyer.
at the
One of
scene,
them,
And let's approach
the
again.
young one. James. Yes, James. That's right. Hey, Rosman. James. Does anyone agree? He looks like him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's all right. I think the little younger guy was better looking and less annoying.
Okay,
There was
counsel,
another
yes, go
one. I
ahead.
can't
Thank you.
remember. Like
So,
I just all
and
the
he had
white men
braces.
just like
I don't know why that was so funny to
detectives
me.
and the
He
one
had braces.
FBI agent had on vests, right?
they all
Yes.
blend into one for me.
These were, bulletproof vests.
Did he have braces?
Yes. Tactical
Amazing.
body armor. Yes.
Testicle?
And at least a couple of the
Wait.
detectives.
Armor. Yes.
These were, bulletproof vests, right?
Yes. Tactical body armor. Yes.
And,
Testicle or tactical?
at least a couple of the detectives had
I mean, they have
large-
body armor for your testicles, but to
What you
me,
would
that's
call
kind of
long guns, I
mandatory.
guess.
But
Yes.
All right.
Thank you. I knew he had braces. I thought so.
The only
Oh, that were nails.
individuals that had on body worn were the officers who responded after the arrest.
Yes, that's correct.
So
Yes,
there's
this is-
actually
like,
no
look,
video
I
from
don't
the
have time for
arrest
this.
itself.
Testicle armor.
Not to my knowledge.
To effectuate the arrest, the entire street in that intersection was
Did you
completely
just
shut
did
down.
you say that to troll or what?
It was blocked
I
with
don't know.
vehicles.
if so, props.
But you're, again, which street?
He definitely said
Or,
testicle.
Where Cabora and Sinaloa meet, and we watched the video that Mr. Avila played, and it showed. I don't want to take the time to play it
Okay.
again, but it showed,
Yeah.
multiple cars that were parked and blocking, ingress and egress.
Sure, you can,
or-
migraine gang.
I don't know, 100 yards or so, going down east on Cabora, towards
Yeah.
where Cabora and Sinaloa meet.
Yes.
And towards the end, an airship arrives.
Yes.
And an airship is the term that law enforcement uses to describe a helicopter.
Was our air support? Yes.
Air support, yeah. Now, you were not. Mr. Avila asked you about whether any of the actions taken during the arrest caused any bruises or abrasions, you were not the one who arrested him, like physically, right? It was Detective Hidalgo.
Yes, in my presence.
How far away were you?
I was in my vehicle, so probably within 10 to 20 feet.
You were in your vehicle.
No.
Did you exit your vehicle while the arrest was occurring?
Yes, I never said I was sitting in my vehicle during the arrest. I was out of my vehicle,
You're out of your
Oh,
vehicle.
Fred,
Yes.
don't say
Understood.
that.
and I was
So I was
present
going to
during
get
the
all
arrest.
excited.
10 to 20 feet away from Detective Hidalgo.
No, from the defendant.
Detective Hidalgo was the one who effectuated the arrest.
Yes. So are you talking about when he placed handcuffs on him?
Yes.
Oh, I was probably closer than that then. During when he placed handcuffs on him, I was closer than that.
How many?
Probably within 5 to 10 feet.
How many detectives physically detained him to put handcuffs on him?
I believe Detective Hidalgo was the only one that placed handcuffs on him. Maybe one additional person assisted with holding his arm while he placed handcuffs on.
You
I was saying that before, Wesley. I'm
testified that
freaked out. I thought Becky was in the courtroom.
the arrest
also
occurred without
working.
incident, right?
Yes.
He was
in
compliant.
an administrative capacity,
Yes.
admin, whatever capacity.
And he obeyed orders.
Yes.
He told you where his keys were.
Objection. Hearsay.
I think you testified that he was cooperative. Was that correct?
That's correct. He was
As part of his
cooperative.
cooperation, did he tell you where his keys were?
I'm not sure if I was the one asking him for his keys.
Okay.
Move to strike the answer.
All right, sure.
That you needed like a clicker to get into his garage, and that he explained how that worked.
Objection. Hearsay
Sustained.
and foundation.
Yeah, sustained.
She does look a bit like Jodi Arias at trial. That chick.
How many individuals were part of the second arrest on the 19th?
We had approximately the same. On the 19th, I believe 8 to 10. 8 to 10 detectives.
And there's
Approximately the same.
There's no video whatsoever associated with that event.
Not that I'm aware of. It was outside of the In and Out at 92nd and Sepulveda. I'm sure there's video somewhere over there.
Nothing
That
further.
is such a Becky hair.
Correct.
So for this arrest on February 15, 2020, we have this body worn video, correct?
Yes.
And there was other body worn video. Were there other officers wearing body worn video at about this time?
On the 15th?
Yes.
Yes.
And was there video of the defendant inside the patrol car once he's placed into the patrol car?
Yes.
And given the guns that officers had on them, the number of cars and the airship, how would you describe defendant's demeanor during all this?
Airship.
What does I care?
He said describe. How would you
How
describe?
would you describe his demeanor during
Helicopter.
this whole
LAPD
incident
term.
where you have patrol cars,
Really? They call it an
guns,
airship?
and the airship?
Yeah.
Pretty fancy term for a helicopter. Just call it a chopper.
Yeah.
Jeez, get over
He was
yourself.
cooperative with what we were asking him or telling him to do, and his demeanor was calm and cooperative. Yeah.
Airship. Airship.
They already said that.
LAPD fugitive task force, do they wear body worn?
Move on.
video? Are they required to wear body worn video?
No.
Why not?
Due to the nature of our operations and the surveillances that we're conducting, that we're not required to wear body worn video.
What does that even mean?
Thank you,
Did
Fed.
you see Officer Hidalgo when he's arresting the defendant, placing the handcuffs on him? Do you see him strike him, hit him in any way?
Absolutely not. I'm a supervisor, so if that would have occurred, I would have to conduct a use of force investigation. So
Oh, would you?
nothing like that occurred.
I have nothing further.
Anything?
2 questions.
Yes, go ahead.
Or 3. Who told you that he bailed out?
I believe Detective Carranza notified me.
This was what's called a felony stop, right?
Yes.
Why?
Objection beyond the scope of the redirect.
And that's a specific term that refers to the manner and the level of force used during a stop, right?
Objection Vegas, level of force used.
Okay.
Force use. What do you mean?
A felony stop is a term that is used to describe the amount of officers or detectives and the amount of resources and procedures that are put in place to make an arrest.
Objection compound.
Sustained.
Mr. Pursehouse had to lay prone on the ground when he got out of his car.
Yes, we ordered him out of the vehicle and ordered him into a prone position.
And so a prone position means that you lay down on the ground face down, right?
Ooh, face
Yes,
down.
on your stomach.
On your stomach with your hands
And-
above your head.
No, hands out to your side.
Hands out to your side.
They're all well experienced in this. They all
He
have
did that.
backgrounds in porn.
Yes, on his own accord.
I think for the
They all have
You may step
their own
down.
big houses with big pools.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes. People, you want a good time to stop?
It's up to the court, Your Honor.
Do you have, well, can you do something in 10 minutes or?
Well,
No?
it's gonna be longer.
I can do a lot in 10 minutes.
You're, speak for that as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take the afternoon recess. We'll see you all tomorrow at 9:30. Be safe if you will, please.
Yeah. The police were mean and naughty to him.
Mm.
Yeah.
Are they close to resting yet?
Monday for the state.
Okay.
How do we know that?
They said,
Can you see into the future?
well, that's what they said. And they
Oh.
said they're on time. So around there.
Right. Okay. Because I'm the one who can see into the future, not you. Really. Unless you've gotten onto a plane and you're outside my front door.
It's possible.
Never know.
Could be. Oh no. I've been worried about this happening. Oh.
I was at my
Drink that
mom's birthday
bleach.
party and God, who was it? Someone said, I don't know if it was my brother or my aunt. They were like, I really want to go to Australia. I was like, do you? Apparently they have dingoes that will
Oh,
eat
yeah.
babies and kangaroos that'll fight you.
Oh yeah.
No one knew. It
There's
was fun.
all
And then
sorts
these
of shit.
birds that we heard about that take your head off.
Yeah, there's
For those
plenty
of
of
you who
those.
didn't tell me about that.
Plenty of those. Tell you what. Okay, the scariest thing about coming here is the plane ride.
Yeah.
Probably.
Have you
We
been to
just
the
had
US?
me?
Yeah.
Shit, no.
Oh, okay.
I'm scared of the guns.
You'll be fine. Just stay out of Chicago.
Have you been out of the country before?
Just to New Zealand. I haven't been anywhere really. I'm
Mm.
stuck here. Yeah. No. I would. It's just I have a little girl and she's
Yeah.
very clingy. So
Aw.
when she gets a little bit older and I travel just interstate and that for dance congresses. I'm going actually to Adelaide next weekend for a dance congress. But she gets really she wants to come with me. That's the
Aw.
thing. She wants to travel with me, and it's expensive. So I'll travel a bit more when she gets a bit older. But I should have done it when I was younger. I should have done it when I was 20,
Yeah.
25. That's when people generally do the traveling around the world kind of thing, and I just didn't. I really missed my chance.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, literally, we just had some people from Brazil come here, and this happens so often. They come from across your side of the world, and it takes them. Sometimes it can take them 4 days.
Really?
Because they'll be planning to take a normal sort of 20-hour trip, And if there's some sort of delay, they miss a stopover or a flight or something like that, then they're screwed. Like, if something goes wrong, like these people, they literally, they got on a flight on Tuesday and they didn't get here till Saturday. And because of the fact that like things like connections just didn't match up. And I've seen this happen so many times, and they end up just dead by the time they get here.
Yeah.
It's like, what day is it? Am I still a human? And what is this strange place? Yeah. Anyway, do you want to watch a video?
Sure, put it in private chat.
I've already sent it to you.
Oh, that one? Okay.
Yeah. I've already sent it to you.
Hey, Yamaha. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Is that Yamaha?
Oh my God, Sal.
Yeah, Yamaha. Okay, so the reason why like this happens a lot in with the people that we bring over in the dance world is because we try and get them here as cheap as possible. And so we book them through like Skyscanner and like the cheapy flights, and then what happens is they end up like stuck in a airport somewhere in Dubai or somewhere like that, and they get stuck overnight or just like stuck in an airport, basically sleeping on the floor.
Wow.
For 8 hours at a time. Yeah. Oh well, that's poor them.
Right?
I know, right? Here's something fun that I found that I thought you guys might like.
You're right. You can call me. You're right. I'm not even gonna look to see whether he has a valid license. So hope for the best.
Oh, is this
Before we get going, I mean, your nose could be off, but I would suggest you do Mr. Hellman before we start.
Middleton?
Autumn?
Well, I think guards have their, they have
Yeah, let's do one. All right, let me set this one aside. Mr. Holloman, come up and have a seat with your attorney. This is file 234830D, People versus Curtis Wayne Holloman. That's you, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, good morning. We've met several times. This is the time and date for sentencing in this matter. Daniel Friesen has prepared your screening report.
It's awesome.
You would actually, yeah.
He recommends that
down
we
the
do
coast, right?
PT before we start, see what your current alcohol level is. He didn't just fall off the turnip truck. He's very experienced.
Unreal place, as
I think he can smell alcohol. So let's see what we're dealing with before we proceed. Daniel, why don't you take him out? Yeah, TBT. The last gentleman we just did, you saw it was 2/8 at 8:30 in the morning, so it's not unprecedented. So I don't know. Obviously, if you're over 0.08, we can't do the sentence because there's a presumption that if you're intoxicated, you don't really comprehend everything that's going on in the proceeding.
Dali, come back. Can you put on closed captions? They are existing in this. Is he there?
Well, Your Honor, this is, I'm definitely gonna pass this.
Closed captions?
All right, well, good.
I'm very confident, but the fact is since I've been here plenty of times, I have been drinking a lot. The day that this matter happened, so I look back on it, I couldn't really, through like my anxiety and the way things are, I don't take the medication because I'm against like all that crap to try to settle me down. So I drink to calm down. I've had a lot of things happen since last time I've been here last time. And, you
Well,
know,
we call that self-medicating, and
exactly.
that's not an effective medication,
Mhm.
especially when you end up crashing into somebody's house. So you're lucky you didn't hurt yourself, kill yourself, or somebody else. But
Yeah, okay.
I'll ask you the same question. How did you get here today?
I drove.
All right. We'll see what we got here with the. If you pass the test, that'll be good. We can just go on with try to figure out what to do.
I have a friend that's noticing my, you know, I get, you know, after work and just to like self-medicate basically, that
Well, at least he
he
admits
has
it.
already sent me messages and places in Kalamazoo to go get.
Are you staying in Are you on Edward Street in Kalamazoo?
Where's
Actually,
Kalamazoo?
that is drop.
Why don't you step out with a bailiff here? I want to do this on camera and
Michigan.
get us.
Michigan. Okay, all right. Your part of town.
Yep. Well, a while away from me, a couple hours, but still.
Okay.
I can smell the alcohol from here. I'm assuming it's him. So we'll see. Let's step in on this.
It's not me, Your Honor.
Oh, I know it's
Trust
not
me,
you.
I wanted to go home and have a glass of wine, but I couldn't even.
I promise it's
I barely
not
got my
me.
shoes off.
Well, I know you had a hearing in Coldwater this morning, so
I just wanted to say.
I knew you were gonna have trouble getting here, but we made it
could be
work,
her.
so.
Thank you, sir.
Alcohol spilled off my hallway. It could be what I'm smelling. I just wiped up a whole bunch of a big gallon of alcohol. But he blew zeros.
Oh, very good, very
Oh,
good.
really? The bloodhound.
Well, I can smell it from here, so maybe it's.
Maybe because I put that sanitizer on my hands, and maybe that's why you're smelling is sanitizer.
Yeah, because we walked in the door and you walked by me, I could smell it.
Oh, okay.
I would have thought that it was all over the counter.
All right, very good, Mr. Holloman. That makes me pleased. All right, so we got through that. His PBT is 0.000.
Okay, so he's got no alcohol in
There
his
was an
system, yet he
alcohol
can smell alcohol.
cleaner spill in the hallway, and also maybe hand
Maybe it was
sanitizer
her.
in here, which is why it smells like alcohol. But
I'm
it's not this
confused.
defendant. So this is file 234830D. He was
Okay.
confident he wasn't
Sanitizer
gonna have
is
any
not the same
result, and he
smell.
was right. This still is a tough case. The defendant
I reckon it was her. Or one of the bailiffs.
crashed his vehicle into the side of a house, and is struggling with alcohol, which he was starting to talk about. And Rhonda, what would you like me to know?
Well, he just moved
Yeah.
back here about a year ago, in 2022 to be near his family and his son specifically. He still has a past support obligation to the state of Michigan for Medicaid benefits that the child was under when he was under 18. So he's trying to whittle that away. He's trying to maintain employment. He indicates that, he realizes that he's self-medicating with
He could still
alcohol.
stink.
And he wants treatment. He wants help. He doesn't want to lose his job. He would like the court to give him an opportunity for probation. We understand that the recommendation is that he would not be successful. I mean, I have no idea if he would be or not. I just know that he is indicating that he would like that opportunity and he would like the court to consider that. And I'm not sure if the court would consider that as an option or not. But he certainly is hoping that if the court did give him jail time, he could arrange a time to turn himself into the jail and or have work release. Thank you.
Where are you working? I didn't think you were working.
I have not went without a job since I've been here.
All right, where do you work now?
I was with FBM. We were delivering. Last time I seen you, I was with them guys. They weren't paying me enough. They're treating me pretty low, and there's people ready. They find people jobs. They're nationwide really, but I'm really close to people that work there. I actually help other people get jobs in get away from drugs and stuff. Like I told you in the first place when I got here. And Tracy, we're pretty close actually. And so is Jill and Art, and they check on me every day. But the thing is I told them about my job, and they're like, just tough it out, man. I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna have anybody treat me this way. So of course, one day at FBM, I quit. Like after I seen you like
What's
the last
FBM?
time. And I went right back because we were delivering to the new courthouse downtown. And now I'm working in the courthouse, taking care of everything inside there. And that's PC or whatever I gave you. That's the company that runs that.
He just hasn't showered in a long time.
That big courthouse right there.
In Kalamazoo or in Three Rivers?
Kalamazoo. That $300 million.
Yeah, they're behind schedule on it. They had a fire and they had some other problems.
Absolutely.
All right.
We'll be there till at least December 4th for right now too.
All right. Can I see what you've got there, Rhonda, regarding his employment?
Oh, I don't have, I was just trying to find it in the probation report. It seemed like there was a paragraph about it.
He's got it in here. He's working as a subcontractor through SCP Construction.
SCP.
But I'm not real confident about that.
It's Hasselhoff is actually where it goes through. They're like, it's like a third party thing for the liability and all that.
Do you have a paycheck stub in your car or anything with you?
A stack.
We're going to get him.
Stack of them.
All right.
He's gonna go get them. Okay. Yeah, just wait. I'll go get him. Yeah.
Before he does have their business card with a contact number.
That's Tracy.
All right. The live
What's
feed
this
is
gonna
still
do
on.
him?
I'm
I
gonna
don't
stop the record
understand.
for a moment. Hopefully. Your credibility is somewhat in question. That day you told us you were on the way, then you told us you were in the parking lot. None of that was true. I'm gonna find out whether. So just sit tight.
Look, it seems like every court has these bailiffs that are just like huge.
Yeah.
Huge. It's like a prerequisite.
Huh.
Like, how massive are you?
All right, we're back on the record in file
No one hires puny bailiffs.
23483 SD, Curtis Holloman. I had my staff contact people ready and they did know Mr. Holloman. Apparently it's a temporary staffing agency and said Mr. Holloman is assigned to the courthouse project. So even though he doesn't have any receipts, the person that answered the phone says that he is employed there.
He was able to pull a sum up on his phone. I don't know if the court wanted to see the check stub. I guess he gets paid by the day. They had that up on your phone. I don't know where it went.
Well, they confirmed that he's there, so
Okay.
I guess that's sufficient. All right, Daniel, you had quite a strong recommendation here. He says, well, for one thing, he's got quite a lengthy criminal history. His most recent drunk driving was a long time ago. He had some charges pending. He had a domestic assault here in May, which he hasn't finished paying on. In fact, I don't think he's made any payments since a while. And he said this is all effing ridiculous and he wants to just get it over with. Drinks a beer or two on weekends.
Oh, you're right.
Which is different than what he acknowledged here today. You basically say, I want to do with a guy, I want to give him the maximum sentence. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Well, yes, Your Honor. When looking at his criminal history, it was quite a few years ago, back in 2008, his last OWI. But if you look, he also had a liquor consumed in public in 2012. And when you look at this history and look what his general demeanor with both the court and this officer regarding not making sentences, his vernacular when he's talking to this officer and describing the whole situation, how he feels about it, the fact that he hung up on me and said he would call me back, that he couldn't speak to me any further. He had other things he had to do, and he never called me back. I guess my attitude is, well, I guess I don't need to deal with him either. I think what he's realizing is the days were a little bit more than he thought when he came to court. So now he has this 11th hour reformation desire. That's just my gut instinct. I don't have a crystal ball. I think he would benefit greatly from services, and I think he definitely needs to reform his drinking. I don't think he's admitting that he has a drinking problem. He says today he does, but I think currently with his past behavior and attitude with his court dates and stuff like that, I think it's a little bit more show than substance right now behind that. But I guess we could see. Often we say the jail's always there, but with his attitude that he took with this officer, especially when he hung up and couldn't talk anymore, I had a hard time saying that he would be productive in probation and really wanted to avail himself of any services. So I'll leave it up to the court. Obviously, I will do whatever the court orders. I did speak with Mr. George this morning. There is a $259 reimbursement request from the police for accident blood draw.
Is he a lawyer? What's he wearing?
And he says there currently is no restitution from the homeowner. He was going to check in with him, so I would ask that we would hold him restitution. Mr. George and myself are thinking that the damage that was in the report might have been more like yard damage than actual hitting his house. He says he doesn't know any more than I do, and I said, well, it wasn't very clear what he actually hit or did not do. It did say that it alluded to the victim being on the phone with insurance, but insurance is going to pay for yards, so I just asked the court to hold on any restitution.
A whole lot of restitution. What do you mean? How much?
Mr. Honor, I do want to just say that I think the house was not hit. I believe it was just yard damage.
Well, the dispatch, the police report said the car had run into a house. And then the report says stop in the front yard. The driver's door was open. The airbag had been deployed. So it hit something.
That's nasty.
I believe the curb might have caused that because he said all his tires were flat or several.
Yeah, it isn't clear.
Surely those photos.
Yeah.
At that point, Douglas goes straight across Millard. This was
A-okay.
Douglas and Millard. But Douglas jogs over.
Looks like
comes
it
at the light.
It's up to the judge.
By Harding's. And then at Andrews School, is also in a school district. It jogs to the left and then it continues south past Immaculate Conception School and church. So it isn't a straight street. And you cross Millard, and I don't think that's the first time people have done that. However, you only have a block from Michigan Avenue to there to get up to speed. Fortunately, nobody was hurt, and you weren't. But you were pretty upfront that you were drunk and didn't make any bones about it. The prosecutor reduced this to a impaired driving. Your result was a .181.
0.181. That's a lot.
Your Honor.
Yes.
My house was 3 houses when it goes through the school, the stop sign right there. It had rain in the morning and it snowed in the middle of the day, so everything was ice when I stopped right there. It's a front wheel drive little car, and that's why I went through. And it wasn't, I was like,
well, I remember that house. That's where the domestic violence incident took place.
Around the corner.
So yeah, I know the geography there. This was March 16th, so I'm not sure what the weather was like. I don't really want to do a probation. You're kind of in the same boat as the last guy. You say you want help, but you've done 0 since March. AA's free.
You're going to jail.
There are other things available. But apparently you are employed. So I'm going to do a 60-day, 2-month probation.
Okay, that's nice of you. And what about the repairs, restitution?
Can I have that card back? We're gonna make a copy of that so we can.
You can actually have it. I got more.
All right, thanks.
That's nice.
2-month probation, non-reporting.
Non-reporting?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All
he
right,
doesn't have to
30
go talk
days
to anybody.
jail, 32 days jail, credit 2, leaving 30 days to serve because you've done on weekends or work release. The reason I'm doing a 2-month probation is if you don't do what we ask you to do regarding weekends or work release, we can alter the sentence. I'm still not 100% confident you're actually working here, but we'll find out. There's a $300 fine, a $75 crime victims' rights fee.
He just asked his
$50 state minimum fee, a $100 screening fee, $150 attorney fee. There's no probation oversight fee. There's a police reimbursement of $255. That's a lot of money. Drinking, driving is an expensive proposition, and you're on a payment plan. You missed your September payment, although I think you made June, July, and August. On the domestic assault case, 300 plus 75 plus
I don't
50
understand this whole jail credit
plus
thing at all.
100 plus 150 plus 255 equals $930. There's a PR bond that's due in 6 months. And now there's $25 a month.
We've picked up some viewers. Hello.
If you want to get some help, I guess you can. While you're on this short 2-month probation, you can't use any alcohol or any controlled substances.
Yeah, right. Sure, I just won't. I just
It's
stop
either
drinking
going to be
completely.
15 weekends, which is a big hassle, or a work release from the day reporting center.
Yeah, Fed.
So
That's
what
just
is
going to
this?
be simple.
Well, you're going to go with the probation agent. We're going to try to either schedule weekends or see if we can set up work release. You ask for work release, your attorney asks for work release. You apparently are working.
In Kalamazoo.
Yes.
Apparently.
So I gave you 32 days in jail. Would you rather just do it up front and get it done with?
No.
Okay.
I did prison for 7.5 years. I'm like, I stopped taking medication because because of how I am talking to you right now. I can't even, I'm like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Not good, dude. I did that for my kid for 30 days because he's the one that punched me. That's what made me mad. And then somebody's trying to put something in front of me and I'm always trying to work on my life.
All right. Well, I think you do need to do that. We're going to start out with some forced sobriety weekends. All right, Daniel. Best of luck there. The open end talks.
Thank you, Aaron.
Is the other case.
Well,
All right. We have a full afternoon starting at 1.
Okay, so basically, he could have just gone to jail. Oh, hello, Trump. He could have just gone to jail for 30 days. That was the option. Or he has to go to jail on the weekends for 30 weeks. Does that make No,
Or 30 days, I think.
30. So no, half of that. So 14 or 15 weeks, enough weekends to make up 30 days.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he has to make up the 30 days over the weekends. So 6 months, basically.
Yeah.
So for 6 months, he has to go to jail on the weekends.
Or do a work release.
What's that mean?
I believe it's where you get let out in the morning, you go to work, and then you report back to the jail for the night.
So you live at the jail?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so how does that work? So then you then do you basically burn off your time at jail quicker?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you do like
you
get work release, but you still get credit for a day.
Okay. So you might be there for a little bit less time.
Well, a lot less, just a month.
Oh, so you would only have been in there for a month.
Yeah, you can still work.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so you'd be in for a month and you'd go and do your work release during the day. But he's saying he doesn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, because he wants to drink during the days.
Although they'll
Probably.
test him most likely, so.
But he did say it was non-reporting probation. So that means that he doesn't have to go and report to the probation officer, doesn't it, during the week?
Probably, yeah. Sounds like it.
That sounds like a pretty silly stipulation because he. Yeah. Okay. Well, he's clearly like an alcoholic, a big time alcoholic. Yeah. So
yeah,
he's
big time.
Big time. So he's probably like, no, I want my 5 days a week to drink, and then he can go to jail on the weekends. And what the judge was just saying is it's forced sobriety or something.
Yeah. Well, I guess because you're in jail, so you can't drink during those 2 days.
Yeah, exactly. So he's like, well, that's better than 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, wow. I don't get it. I that's why I'm like, when we're just going through all of that jail credit stuff, like Half Irish was saying, where is her comment back here? Yeah, I don't really understand this jail credit is such a weird phrase. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I can ask my brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, he's doing good now, but yeah, for a while he had issues.
Okay, no, fair enough. All right. Well, that's been fun. Thank you everyone for hanging out.
Yeah, I think we will do day 6 tomorrow.
Yep. And they said that well, they won't be resting tomorrow. Resting on Monday.
Probably Monday is their tentative schedule.
Tentative schedule. So it's just Friday here today, and tomorrow is my Saturday. And that will be.
Yeah.
Okay, so hang on, let me just work this out. So how many days left of your week and therefore of testimony?
Tomorrow is Friday.
Tomorrow's Friday. Okay, great. Sweet. Good. Yeah, okay. And we'll probably do some Jensen over the weekend?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Beans of our lives.
Exactly. My favorite
like
day.
Sands through the hourglass. like steaming through the turkey baster.
God.
By the way, have a look at my turkey baster video.
Oh yes, absolutely.
I'll put the link in chat in a moment.
Yeah, and we can read some more of his lovely manifesto. Manuscript. Sorry.
Manuscript.
My bad.
Cool. Thank you everyone for hanging out today.
We will see you tomorrow.
Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.